Hello chess friends, I am Jitendra Advani and welcome to Chess Talk. In today's chess video, I am going to show you how to win an endgame when you have a king, a knight and a bishop versus your opponent's lonely king. You need to watch this till the end because I also have a really interesting chess puzzle for you all. Let's see if you can solve that. So without further ado, let's get started. When we talk about a bishop and knight endgame, you need to focus on two important ideas in chess. The idea of restriction and the idea of piece coordination. You really need to understand these concepts because these will help you not only in this type of endgame but in every aspect of chess. There have been several instances where a lot of strong chess players failed to convert this position into a win and the game ended in a draw. There are also some people who think that this type of checkmate is not at all possible. But they are wrong. It's a little difficult, I admit, but it's not impossible. In this video, I will show you a step-by-step method to achieve this checkmate. So let's break it down. There are three basic steps you need to follow. First, you need to bring your pieces to the center regardless of where your opponent's king moves. Number two would be to force your opponent's king to an edge of the board. And three would be to finally checkmate in a corner. That's simple, isn't it? Well, there are some nuances to this, but broadly these are the three basic steps you need to follow. You also need to keep in mind that you have only 50 moves within which you need to checkmate your opponent. If you want to know more about the 50 move rule, you can check out my how to play chess video. I have linked it in the I button above. Okay, so let's start. Our first aim is to bring all our pieces in the center. Let's begin with our king, moving it closer to the center. Now let's say black stops our king from advancing further. Now the best way to respond to such a move would be to bring your bishop in between both the kings. Notice how the bishop blocks both these squares and forces the king to retreat. You can remember this pattern. Whenever the kings are facing each other like this and you want to push your opponent's king back, you can simply bring your bishop in between. Now you can continue to advance your king. Black might want to stay in the center like this. If you evaluate the moves you have got in this position, then you will see that if you move your bishop like this, then the king can run away in this direction. So it's better to bring all your pieces into play by advancing your knight. Notice how you're blocking off this king from running away. Let's say now the king moves over here. We can simply take control of the center by moving our king like this. Now your opponent can go two ways. If he goes this side, then we will push him on this edge. And if he goes this side, then we will drive him towards this edge. So he brings his king here and we also move our king like this to stop him from escaping this way. He keeps his king closer to the center and then our bishop simply takes over the center. Our first step is now complete. In just 7 moves, we have taken control of the center with all our pieces working in a coordinated way. As you saw, this is quite simple. There is no fixed way of doing this, but you just need to play some basic moves to achieve this position. Okay, now before moving on to step 2, I would like to remind that if you want to learn more about chess and become a better chess player, then you need to hit that red subscribe button right now. And don't forget to press the bell so that you get instant updates from our channel. Okay, now let's move to step 2. After black moves, our objective is to push the opponent's king to an edge of the board. How do we do that? Just start with a simple question. Ask yourself, where will your opponent move to stay close to the center? Well, in this position, black would want to move here to stay close to the center, right? So we basically need to block this square without giving away other squares close to the center. A simple way to achieve this would be bishop to d5. It's the same pattern I showed you earlier. The king will have to go back. We can advance our king further like this, and then let's say black moves sideways. Now comes the tricky part. How do you drag your opponent back further? In this position, you need to ask yourself the same question. Where can your opponent move to stay close to the center? In this position, black has two options. If he moves this way, then you can simply follow the same pattern of bringing your bishop in between and forcing the king back. But what if black plans to run away from this side? You need to prevent that from happening. Your knight is not doing much at the moment, so let's bring it into the game. Here, I want to make you understand another useful pattern in which your bishop and knight coordinate. Let's play knight to d2 first. And then the black king is trying to run away, as expected. Now here comes the beautiful pattern I was talking about. Knight to c4. Just look at how effectively both these pieces are creating a wall blocking the king from escaping. The white bishop is controlling the light squares and this knight is controlling the dark squares. Whenever you place your knight and bishop diagonally close to each other like this, they will be most effective. So just remember this pattern. It will really help you when you're stuck in games like these. Now black really has only one choice, and that is coming back to the middle. If you ask yourself now, black has these two squares to stay close to the center. So we need to block these off. King to f6 would be a good move because it will cut off this square. Now the king, avoiding the edge, moves back in this direction. Black is left with this square, so let's take it away. Our bishop and knight are placed perfectly, so let's bring our king one step closer to block off this square. The black king has to retreat and we have got the king on the edge of the board. Congratulations, that's step 2 complete. It took us about 13 moves to reach this position. Okay, now before moving on to step 3, you need to remember one important principle. In a bishop and knight endgame such as this, you can only checkmate your opponent's king in a corner which is of the same color as your bishop. Which means that if you have a white bishop, then you can mate your opponent on any of these light colored squares only. And if you have a black bishop, then you can mate your opponent on any of these dark colored squares only. Seems clear? Let's move ahead. You now know that we have to push the king to the light squared corner, so it's quite straightforward. I will make a separate video to show you what to do if your opponent runs away with his king to a corner which is not of the same color as your bishop. So stay tuned for that video. For the moment, let's concentrate on this game. Well, which square should you control now? This one, right? You want to keep this king on the edge of the board. So let's play king to d6. You might think that what if the king tries to run away from here? Don't worry. If he moves his king like this, we just need to block off this square. So what should we do? Yes, it's bishop to f7. King goes back and now we need to bring our pieces a little closer. Black might think of escaping from here, so let's block off this square by moving our knight here. If the king goes towards this corner, he makes things easy for us. So he will try to move towards this side. We need to block this square, so we simply check with our knight. King comes back. We defend this knight with our king. Black has only one legal move. We also move our king defending this square, preventing black from running away. And if the king goes back, can you see what can be done to take away this square? Yes, just simply check the king with your bishop. Black has only one legal move, so he moves back. In this way, we have reached an ideal position. This is the position you should always be aiming for in a bishop and knight endgame. You might ask what's special about this position. For starters, you have the king in the correct corner, and we have restricted him to these two squares only. Your king is defending these three squares, and your bishop is controlling this square. So we formed a cage to trap the black king. Now let's move our knight since it is free. King moves to the corner, and now the technique will be to check the king with your knight first and then finally checkmate in the corner with the bishop. But here comes the tricky part. Don't play knight to d6 just yet. Otherwise, it will be a stalemate. We need to play a waiting move with our bishop, keeping him on this diagonal. So let's play bishop to d7. And now when the king moves, we give a check with our knight and then finally checkmate with our bishop. It is a mate in 24 moves. This is a systematic approach to checkmate with a knight and a bishop. The most important points you need to remember are these bishop moves to push the king back. Another one is the coordination between your knight and bishop to create a wall to lock your opponent's king like this. And the concept of taking away squares to restrict your opponent. And finally, playing waiting moves with your bishop to avoid stalemate. I will release a second part of this video which will cover the steps to drag your opponent out of the wrong corner. That's a very important technique you need to master, so don't forget to watch that. Okay, so it's puzzle time. But before moving on to today's chess puzzle, I request you to show your support and like this video. We are targeting 3000 likes on this video, so come on guys, hit that thumbs up button right now. Okay, so here's the puzzle. In this position, it's your turn and you need to find the best move for white. If you're able to find the solution to this puzzle, then share it in the comments below. Whoever gives the correct answer with a perfect explanation, I will be pinning that comment at the top so that everyone can see it. All the best guys, let's see how many of you can solve this. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and for some interesting chess tips, tricks and puzzles, you can like my Facebook page and follow me on Instagram. Links are in the description box below. Thanks for watching and I shall see you in my next video. Hello chess friends, I am Jitendra Advani and welcome to Chess Talk. In today's chess video, I am going to show you how to win an endgame when you have a king, a knight and a bishop versus your opponent's lonely king. This is my second tutorial on the bishop and knight checkmate, so in case you haven't checked out the first part, then I would recommend that you watch that first by clicking on the I button above. And don't forget to watch this video till the end because I also have a really interesting chess puzzle for you all. Let's see if you can solve that. So without further ado, let's get started. As I told you in my first video, the trick to win such an endgame is to push your opponent's king in a corner which is of the same color as your bishop. In this case, you need to push your opponent's king to any of these two white corner squares since your bishop is on a light colored square. Now let's assume your opponent is smart and he knows this, and therefore he decides to run away to this corner right from the start. What will you do now? Well, let me break it down and make it simple for you. Our first aim is to get our king diagonally opposite to this corner. So we need to get him on this f6 square. Let's do this fast. Black will just keep moving back and forth like this because he wants to stay in that corner. And we got our king here. This is the key starting point to drag this black king out of this wrong corner. Now let's say we want to drag him towards this side, so we simply block this square by moving our bishop here. Now to move him out of here, we need to control this corner square with our knight. So let's quickly get our knight to this square so that we can control this corner. It's check and the king is forced to move out. Please pay attention now. This is a very important move for you. Let's analyze this. Like I told you earlier, your king needs to be on this square, so that's fine. Your knight is also perfectly placed to control this corner square. And your bishop is also controlling this square, preventing this king from running away. So what you need to play at this moment is a waiting move. And like I told you in my first video, waiting moves are always played with the bishop. So we simply move our bishop here, keeping it on this diagonal. Black is forced to move this side. Now you need to block this square. Use your bishop for this since all your other pieces are perfectly placed. Basically, from here on, this is what we are going to do. We are going to shift from this position to this and then to this. And then finally checkmate in this corner. When we reach this position, our bishop will control this diagonal, and in this position, our bishop will control this diagonal to simply stop black from running away. Coming back to the game, black has only one square to go, so he moves here. Now an important thing to remember is that from this position, your knight will only be moving like this in a W pattern, and your king will slowly shift towards this side. So just keep that in mind. First, let's move our knight here to block this square. Now black has two options. He can either go this side or this side. First, let's see what happens if he goes here. We will move our knight to d7. Remember the W pattern? It's a check. Black is forced to move here. Once we are sure that black cannot go back to this side, it's time for us to shift our king. Black has only one legal move. And then we shift our king further to prevent black from running away this side. Now again, black has two options. If he goes this side, then it's quite straightforward. We can move our knight and proceed with the W pattern and continue to push the black king to this corner. But what if he tries to again go back? That's when you need to move your bishop. This is always going to be our strategy. Whenever your opponent changes direction, attack with your bishop to block the king. It's a check, so black is forced to retreat. Now again, it's time to complete the W with our knight. Black has only one legal move. Now, don't shift your king just yet, otherwise black will be able to escape from here. So what do we do now? It's simple, just play a waiting move with your bishop, but keep him on this diagonal only. Now again, black has two options. If he moves this side, then simply block this square by placing your bishop on this diagonal. And after that, you can simply shift your king further to restrict the movement of your opponent. And then finally checkmate in the corner. Okay, now if he goes back, then complete the W with your knight. It's a check, so black is forced to move here. Again, it's time to shift your king, protecting this knight. Black has only one legal move, and then we shift our king further, preventing black from running away. See, we reached this position. Now whatever move black plays, you will block off this diagonal with your bishop. It's check, king moves back, we reposition our knight. You need to be careful of the stalemate, so don't move your knight here immediately. Instead, play a waiting move with your bishop, keeping him on this diagonal, and after king moves, give check, and finally checkmate in the corner with your bishop. Easy peasy. Okay, there is one more important piece I need to cover. For that, let's go back to this position. We start with the W, and then instead of moving here, let's say black tries to run away from this side, so he plays king to d8. What will you do now? This is a little tricky, so follow me carefully. From here, we will continue shifting our king. You might be thinking that the king will run away from here. Don't worry, it might seem that way, but we have things under control. After black moves to c7, we will continue the W with our knight. We have got this square covered, so black will look to run away from either here or here. Let's say he moves to c6. It might seem like black has escaped, but no, he hasn't. Our knight is controlling these two squares, so we just need to block this square to stop the king from running away. What do? We simply slide our bishop to d3 just in time to cover this diagonal. This is a very important line you need to remember, so make a note of it somewhere. As you can see now, the black king is trapped in this cage, so he can't run away. He has only two legal moves. If he moves here, then we can push him further with our king like this, and we are back to the same position that we discussed earlier in this video. If he moves like this, then we will move our bishop to cut off this diagonal. Again, we form this perfect cage to push the king back further. If you notice now, we are back again to the same position discussed earlier. You need to follow the same process. Get the game to this position and then finally checkmate in a corner. The best way to master this checkmate would be to set up a random position on the board with these four pieces and play it out against a computer or any of your friends. Once you do it 3-4 times, it will become easy for you. So try this and let me know in the comments how it went. And don't forget to watch the first part of this video because that is also very important. Okay, so it's puzzle time. But before moving on to today's chess puzzle, I request you to show your support and like this video. We are targeting 3000 likes on this video, so come on guys, hit that thumbs up button right now. Okay, so here's the puzzle. In this position, it's your turn and you need to find the best move continuation for white. If you're able to find the solution to this puzzle, then share it in the comments below. Whoever gives the correct answer with the perfect explanation, I'll be pinning that comment at the top so that everyone can see it. All the best guys, let's see how many of you can solve this. Well, don't forget to check out this video on the two bishop checkmate. And this one as well, which is the first part of the knight and bishop checkmate. Thanks for watching and I shall see you in my next video.